is a fun crowd. So I'll tell you some things about me. I'm actually not from the Bay Area. I'm from a small town called Boston. We got any East Coasters in the room tonight? Alright, all in the fucking front. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, taking your jobs. This is a weird thing. I bewilder a lot of people from the Bay Area when I tell them that, because they look at my face and they go, "But you don't look or sound racist." Like, are you sure? Like, you don't look like you can do a hate crime. You look like you are the victim of a hate crime. Are you okay? And that's been just the perpetual story of my life, is that I feel like everywhere I go, I don't really fit in. Like, Boston's a very Irish Catholic town. Grew up as one of the only Asian kids in my high school. Had to do a lot of things to fit in with the white kids, but they wouldn't take me. And guys, I tried everything I could to be white, and they still wouldn't take me. I know. I tried wearing my cap backwards. I tried going to tailgates. I even dated a few Asian women. Like... And I did that joke in San Jose, and that really hits there for some reason. I don't get it. Some other things about me, I'm also from an immigrant family. Anyone else? Cool, y'all in therapy too? No? And yeah, look, it's like, that's the hardest thing about growing up in an immigrant family, is that, like, I always have a big identity crisis. I don't know where I really belong. Like, my mom, even she tells me, she's like, "You're Chinese. I even gave you a Chinese middle name so you wouldn't forget where you're from." And I was like, "Cool, well, what does it mean?" And she said, "Well, it, in English, means Chinese guy." I was like, "Did you give me that middle name, or did the government give me that middle name?" You know how crazy it is to have a middle name that just means Chinese guy? Most parents name their kids for something they aspire. My mom was like, "I want my son to be 1.3 billion people." Like, ain't that crazy? And that's why now things are different. I felt like I had to get out of Boston. I wanted to finally find a place where I belong. That's why I moved to the Bay Area. I want to be with other Asian people that finally see me for who I am. It's just that now all the Asian people here think I'm Filipino, so... Did you guys know this? I showed up here and they were like, "Here's your new house in Daly City." I was like, "What?" It's a 5-minute walk to the clinic. I was like, "What?" "Here's your nursing license." Okay, cool. Things are different. Some other things about you couldn't tell by me, I also have a very deep voice. I have a very, very deep voice. Surprising fact, I got this voice when I was 12 years old. That's crazy, right? Imagine waking up one day and you go up to your mom and you're 12 and you go, "Mom." Like, it's not alarming at all, you know? My parents, they felt concerned, so they brought me to the doctor, and then the doctor had to explain to them and said, actually, it's pretty normal for boys to get a voice like this around this time because their bodies change and their lifestyles change, and that change is called faking. I just want to be part of the cool kids. And that's the hardest thing too, especially growing up in an immigrant family with a deep voice, is that I had to do a lot of errands for my parents. Like my dad, he was so unconfident in his English, I had to answer all the phone calls on his behalf. And it's one thing to sound like an old man, but it's another thing for a 12-year-old to impersonate a 64-year-old man that can't speak English. You know what I mean? One time the electricity company called about an overdue bill. They called for my dad saying, "Sir, do you know you're overdue your bill by 3 months?" And then I, trying to pretend to be my dad, would be like, "Okay, but please don't take away the Xbox Live." Like, they're not going to believe in it. Speaking of my dad's a very fascinating man. He's a classic immigrant dad. One of the weirdest things about being an immigrant dad is that they always like to pretend like they know everything. You know, we all agree with this? Like my dad, he likes to act like he knows every fucking thing. Ruins everything. Take him out to dinner one time, comes up to me and goes, "This is the worst fucking egg roll I've ever had." And I'm like, "Dad, that's so rude because that's a burrito, okay?" Shut up, right? And enjoy it, alright? Now, this has been a big year for me. I've been a big person of self-improvement, a big self-improvement type of guy. One of the things I've been doing recently is I like to run. We got some runners in the house tonight. All right, they're all in the back and we can't see them. Fuck you. Okay, cool. And look, I've been running with my run club recently, and one of the weirdest things that people would come up to me is that people are saying, "Oh, are you in a run club just to ask out women because all they do is hook up with people?" And I don't think that's true. Actually, in fact, I think in a run club, it's actually harder to ask people out. Because I don't know if you guys have ever tried this. It's one thing to ask a woman out and get rejected, but have you guys ever asked someone out and then they just run away? It's like, shit, I asked her out because she's a 7, not a 7-minute miler. Like, god damn it, like. And then the hardest thing about that, too, is that when you want to run with her and ask her out, you want to try to have a conversation. You can't run faster than her because now it just seems like you're flexing. And if you can't run slower than her, it just seems that you're weak. So what I figured out is all I do is I run with her and lock eyes with her the whole entire fucking time. That's how I get my dates. That's how I get my dates. So I'm single. All right, that's what I be. The biggest thing that did happen to me this year, though, was that I actually started growing out my hair because I wanted to be sexier. Thank you. We're fucking with them later tonight. That's what we do. But I think it worked out too well. Because here's the problem, is that when my white friends all grow out their hair, they all look like gods of thunder, like Thor. But then when I grow my hair, especially from behind, I just look like an Asian woman. Like, and I only started noticing this after I started getting catcalled on Market Street the other day. Like, the fuck? Like, and look, if there's anything I learned about long hair, is that it taught me one thing. Like, can we all agree that women, you guys should never be catcalled on the street ever, right? Like, yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Because I remember one time I was walking down Market Street, this homeless guy started hollering at me from behind, and he said, let me see that face, sweetie. And then I turned around, and he was like, oh shit. I didn't mean to holler at a lesbian. Hey, I've been Dan Guan. Make some noise for your host and niece, everybody. Hey!